Replay. We're back with some more Aminatou the Fate Shifter. Do you like watching me punt with blue-based combo decks? Then this is the game for you. Next on Commander Replay. I want to thank my awesome Patreon supporters. You guys are awesome. If you want to help support the channel and vote on which decks I play next, feel free to check out my Patreon at the link below. Also, be sure to check out my GoFundMe for GP Vegas. Alright, so I think some changes we need to make to this deck. So we need to cut like 2 cards from this deck. I think the first one for me is going to be Liliana Vess. Liliana Vess, very cool, very solid, but never crazy. Like it's never like a crazy card to play. And so the second card I'm going to cut is this Urza Lord High Artificer. There just aren't that many artifacts in the deck. And I get that like if you're in the middle of an infinite loop, it can do some stuff, but I don't know, that seems pretty Christmas landy. And I've seen it in some of the games that I've played already, and just like I've never really been wanting Urza into play. So, and the deck's been struggling mightily with mana production, so we're going to get a Tithe, and we're going to get a land tax into this deck. So add Tithe, add land tax, I'm going to check see how many basics are in the deck just to get an idea. Looks like about 5 plains, 4 swamps, how many islands? A bunch of islands. Okay, so there are enough basics in the deck to make use of land tax. Sometimes that is an issue. And, you know, honestly, I'd love to see just 1 more land in the deck. So we're still at 36 lands, which I would love to see this deck come up 1 land, but we have added 2 things that will help our mana production, and so I think that's going to help this deck out a lot. Let's go look for a game. Welcome back, everyone. Playing some more Aminatou the Fate Shifter. Today's deck list comes to us from GoFundMe donor Damon. And take a look at this opening hand. Oh, this Carnage Bastion is so awkward. I think I'm going to mulligan this because I don't know if we're going to draw another land necessarily. Ooh. And it's gotten even worse. Do we go to 6? We are a white short of being able to cast our commander. We do have Oath of Liliana. What happens if we hit a 3rd land? So if we don't hit a 3rd land, we'd probably do like nothing. We could Gilded Drake something, and that's probably about it. If we hit a 3rd land, we can Oath of Liliana, we can Aminatou, we can Blink Oath of Liliana. Okay, I think it's worth the risk. So we'll try keeping it. This is going to be risky, though. Opponent's going to crack a Bloodstained Mire, sure. We draw a Chromatic Lantern. Will be helpful if we can find a 3rd land. If we don't, it's probably not going to do that much for us. Soul Rain coming in for the Archangel Avacyn opponent. Ooh, followed by Boros Signet. So they're going last in the turn order, but they did shoot themselves ahead a bit by double ramping on turn 1 right there. So it is good news for them. Here comes a Caustic Caterpillar. Opponent does not yet have the mana to shoot anything, but they can next turn. Wonder if maybe they go after a Soul Ring right there. There's a Scavenger Grounds. That could mess up some of our graveyard plans. And here comes a Talisman of Dominance. We draw a 3rd land. It's not white, though, but at least that'll get us into the Chromatic Lantern if we need it to. Anything we can do on 2, Gilded Drake, but no great targets for the Gilded Drake, so we'll just wait on that. Opponent's gonna lay down a Stonehewer Giant right there. Oh, man. I guess that means maybe Oath of Liliana? Yeah, that probably puts us on Oath of Liliana. That's a Ranger Captain of Eos. Stonehewer Giant is really good. Gonna get a Stitcher Supplier with the Ranger Captain of Eos. No equipments that I'm seeing in this deck means stealing the Stonehewer, probably not worth it. I wonder if we play the Oath of Liliana, I wonder if opponent shoots it with the Caustic Caterpillar. Would like to try and avoid that. There's a Bojuka Bog. Get that out of the way right now. Although, that's probably the card you want to hold against a Karador deck. Like, I would miss land drops to hold a Bojuka Bog against Karador. Says he feels like he always exile his yard. Well, he likes to play a lot of green-black X graveyard decks, so that would do it. Unfortunately, only hits this Bloodstained Mire, but at least it's something. We draw swords. Can't cast the swords. Oath of Liliana is interesting right here. I think it probably gets shot by the Caterpillar, where if we let Stonehewer Giant grab an equipment, maybe the Caterpillar shoots that, and they kind of mangle with each other right there. I'm going to try that plan, so I'm just going to play the Chromatic Lantern right here. And then we'll leave up the swords and make sure we don't get hit by anything awful. Ooh, that's a Sagardazade. Oh boy. Things can get wild now. So the play right there was to let the Boros player become the threat. Opponent's going to play a sort of Fire and Ice. Let that get equipped. How do I feel about this? Basically, I mean, they'll most definitely shoot the Caustic Caterpillar. I mean, I think we can wait. Yeah. So I think we can wait 1 turn for the Oath of Liliana now. Yeah, okay, I think this is going to work. So, Stonehewer into the Kess. Opponent's going to get a Sword of Fire and Ice trigger. Yep, I'm going to shoot the Caustic Caterpillar down. Here comes the Stitcher Supplier. Unfortunately, that one is probably very good sacrifice fodder for the Oath of Liliana. So maybe not going exactly how I planned, but I think it'll be fine. Opponent will get to mill 3. Victimize, Survival of the Fittest, Ashnod's Altar, awesome. Cards that I'm sure they wanted. There's a Recruiter of the Guard. Well, probably not too far away from that combo now. Opponent goes for a Plague Crafter. Plague Crafter, not amazing for what we're trying to do. Opponent's gonna Basic Land Cycle and Ancient Excavation. Really hurting for lands, I guess. But that's why you run the Basic Land Cycling cards. Grab those lands when you need them. They drop a mountain. We could play Alendra and just sacrifice that. Maybe that's a thing worth doing. Love to draw a land right here. Ooh, it's a land. Ooh, that helps. Play the Watery Grave, untapped. We're going to get Alendra. Opponent's going to end step grab something with Stonehewer Giant. Surprised they didn't do that during their turn. That would have made the most sense. You get like a Feast and Famine. That's what I would have done. Untapped all the lands and then you're sailing. Or get like an Umazawa's. That's going to be an Argentum Armor. Cool. I don't think we're the threat, so I'm just going to let it go and hope that pans out. I've also been filming for like 4 hours at this point, so who knows? Maybe my decision making. It's either amazing or I'm tired and it's way off. I did tell the Archangel Avacyn opponent that this Alendra does not have to be for them, wink wink. So let that be their guide. Opponent's going to swing at us with it. It makes me not super happy. See where the Argentum Armor goes. They're going to fire that at the Alendra. So Alendra will come back. It will persist. So, I mean, the choices are take 12 from the Stonehewer Giant or discard to the Plague Crafter. I guess I'll take the 12. All right, maybe that backfired. Opponent going to shoot our Alendra with the sword. All right, yep. My decision-making not panning out the way I wanted to. Opponent's going to hardcast the Feast and Famine. And here comes the darkness. Although I think damage is already resolved, right? Yeah, we're at 26. I have no idea what it... Opponent says that pump means another beer. I should introduce our opponents, by the way. First up is Archangel 227 piloting Archangel Avacyn, deck that I am interested to see. Looks like they're just doing an equipment-based thing, which is totally legit. They have played an early Stonehewer Giant and are just riding it to victory. And that is a fine plan. Stonehewer Giant is a card that can win games pretty much by itself. Next up, we have Vermilion Nintendo piloting Karador Ghost Chieftain, and Vermilion, a very good green-black X style player, and he really likes strong decks and graveyard-based recursion and combos, things like that, which is why I've been really hesitant to use the swords to plowshares, because it would be very easy for him to assemble 2 or 3 creatures and just win the game, so I am trying to keep the swords up on that. Here comes the Plague Crafter. Unfortunately, we will have to discard. And finally, we have GVR piloting his Kess deck. We've seen this deck a few times now. It is a Storm deck, uses things like Thousand Year Storm. I think there's an Aetherflux Reservoir in there. It does stormy kind of things, so we'll need to watch out for that. It does run a really high amount of interaction that all has flashbacks, so that's a thing we need to watch out for as well. Here comes the Plague Crafter trigger. I think for us, we're going to be discarding the Ghost Way. Opponent's going to activate the Stonehewer Giant one last time, see what they're getting. Gonna get some Swiftfoot Boots. Yep, but I hear those are pretty good. Boots get the free equip thanks to the both abilities, Sigarda's Aid and Stonehewer Giant. By the way, this Plague Crafter trigger will finally resolve. By the way, if you go for a Sunforger with Stonehewer Giant and have Sigarda's Aid in play, you get 2 equips, which means you get an equip, you can activate it, and then it'll get equipped again, so you can activate it again. It's a nice little thing that you can do. I think it's going to be Ghostway. We don't really have that many creatures. We have the Chimera and the Gilded Drake. Those are fine, but not really Ghostway material. Opponent sacrifices their Stitcher Supplier. Yep, you're going to fill up their graveyard even more. Loses Strip Mine, Deathrite Shaman, Wrath of God. So far, they've had things that they probably want to be drawing, more so than discarding into the graveyard, so that's cool. Opponent still has that Scavenger Grounds in play. Could be very helpful. Here comes a Dark Ritual. Yep. Here comes a Demonic Tutor. Yep. Oh, that's a Vandal Blast. Ha ha ha. Whew, we're going to be losing our Chromatic Lantern. That is not great. Nothing worth sourcing at the moment. I guess it's just going to happen. We're back on the try to draw lands plan. It's a Runescar Demon. About the farthest thing from a land. So I guess we're going to play... nope, we don't have the mana for Aminatou. Wow, are we going to do literal nothing this turn? I think we are. Opponent's going to sacrifice the Ranger Captain of Eos. Can't cast non-creature spells. It's okay, we don't have white mana anyway. Here comes Demonic Tutor. Here comes a Birthing Pod. Yup, can't do anything about it. Sacrifice the Recruiter, Solemn Simulacrum, and opponent's going to pass the turn like that. Opponent's going to swing over to the Archangel Avacyn with the Plague Crafter. Yep. We need a way to get rid of the Birthing Pod. That thing's a real problem. If opponent drew another red mana, they could Vandal Blast on it with Kess. Ooh, opponent's got a Toxic Deluge X2. That'll at least slow them down. Solemn Simulacrum will get to draw a card. Opponent's going to Wheel of Fortune. I'm okay with that. We need lands badly. Like, I like the things in our hand, but we can't do anything without mana. And that's been an issue with this deck. This deck is starving on mana pretty hard. Opponent going to play a Champion's Helm before the wheel goes off. Yeah, that sounds good. One of the perks of Sigarda's Aid. Equipments and auras have flash. We finally get some lands. There's 2 lands, a Rhystic Study, a Winds of Abandon, and a Sensei's Divining Top. I think we can finally do some stuff with those. Boros opponent hit all lands. That sucks for them. Let us get this Hallowed Fountain into play, untapped. I think Commander Rhystic Study seems like the plan. Get Aminatou, exile this land, play Rhystic Study. And this is a perfect time for Rhystic Study because everyone's board just got wiped. And we'll pass the turn like that. Let's check out what Vermilion lost in Eternal Witness. That's a good one to get rid of. Living Death is another good one to get rid of, and Greater Good. So, in all likelihood, their hand probably got worse. However, they have a lot of gas in their deck. So, I would imagine there just aren't bad cards in their deck. They're probably also running a pretty low land count. So, they're probably... Ooh, that's a Static Orb. Nice. Nice. Yeah, that's going to be pretty helpful. I think we can work around that pretty good. It's going to... Oop, yep, we draw a board wipe. Should fuel up the Rhystic Study very nicely. Here comes a Stoneforge Mystic. That's a good one. Another Rhystic Study trigger for us. Drawing more cards. Opponent untaps 2 lands. Still have the Birthing Pod. Makes me nervous. Opponent plays a land, so that gives them 3 lands. And they'll pass like that. Opponent's going to Rakdos Charm on the Static Orb. Well, that means we're going to get a full untap. That's pretty cool. Opponent pays for the Rhystic Study. Birthing Pod's still a problem, though. We draw a Tithe, and that is one of the additions I made to the deck. Make sure that we can try to hit our lands better, because this deck really struggles with land drops. It needs better mana production. I think the plan right here is just take a look with Divining Top, so we'll go ahead and do that. Play the Divining Top, take a look with the Divining Top. Land, Archaeomancer. What's in our graveyard? There's a Swords in our graveyard. Cyclonic Rift in hand. So we'll put land back, and then Archaeomancer on top. Activate Aminatou. Put the Karn's Bastion back. Let's play the Flooded Strand, crack the Flooded Strand. This will shuffle away the 3 lands that I can get down for that. How's our white production? It's not great. Let's get a Godless Shrine untapped. Play Archaeomancer. Actually, you know what? I want to leave up the Path to Exile. We've already used Aminatou, right? Yeah, we've already used Aminatou. Take a look with Divining Top. No, we can wait with the Divining Top. So we'll sit on 2 mana mode of Cyclonic Rift, Path to Exile. We've got a Tithe that we can fire off, and we'll use that stuff as we need to. Opponent did grab a Dowsing Dagger with the Stoneforge Mystic. That's a pretty good one. Opponent's going to play a Gift of Immortality on their Stoneforge Mystic. Nice. Do they have a sack outlet? Don't see one yet. They want to pay for the Rhystic Study? They do. Cool. Opponent going on the attack with the Stoneforge Mystic. Yep, we'll just let that one hit. Oh, you're going to flash down the Dowsing Dagger. Yeah, that's a nice little play. Again, I'm still worried about the Karador deck because they can do crazy combo-y things. However, we draw our way into a Reality Asset, and that one should be pretty good. With Aminatou, we can blink things and get rid of them at will, and I like the way that sounds. So Dowsing Dagger creates some tokens. Sigarda's Aid will give the old free equip. We take a hit for 3. Dowsing Dagger will flip over, and opponent gets themselves a Lost Veil. Pretty good card, although it tends to eat strip mines like there's no tomorrow. So you always got to watch out for that. Ooh, here comes a Marin. Yep. That's a Marin. Opponent does have a sack outlet, the High Market, which might foil our Path to Exile a little bit. Opponent's going to let us draw with Rhystic Study. Sure, there's a Revel Arc. We've got Alendra as a Revel Arc target, but that's the only one that's legal currently. So there's Marin. That's a Selfless Spirit. Okay. Opponent lets us draw once again. There's a Spell Seeker. That's a pretty good one. Opponent's going to play a Birds of Paradise, letting us draw again, just letting us draw all the cards. Rhystic Study. Yep. I mean, this tells me that opponent has to be trying to go for it right here. Opponent's going to sacrifice the birds. What are they grabbing? Tri-Belder, maybe? Getting... Ooh, Pride Mage, huh? Shoot our Rhystic Study? Yeah, shoot our Rhystic Study. Marin will get an experience counter. Their High Market is now tapped, so that's good news. Opponent's going to Path on Marin. Excellent. That means we don't have to do it now. I'm all about that. They've got extra mana, so I think they're going to pay for the Rhystic Study. That they do. Marin down. Rhystic Study down. But Rhystic Study drew us a lot of cards. All about that. I mean, we didn't even have to burn any of our removal right there, so that was kind of cool. Here comes Kess. Just have a look at their graveyard real quick. And they've got some things. Wheel of Fortune would make me not super happy. And that may be a reason to try to get some things out of our hand. Opponent's going to Dark Ritual. Okay. Ooh, opponent's going to Lightning Bolt on our Aminatou. I don't think we have anything for that. We do not. So I guess that's just going to happen. Aminatou down. So everyone getting set back pretty good, right? Oh, no, not the Windfall. Ugh. Alright. What things do we want to get rid of? We can get rid of something with the Cyclonic Rift. Oh, probably the Birthing Pod, right? Yeah. So get rid of Birthing Pod. Let's path on something. Kess. We have 9 cards in hand, so everyone's going to be getting 9 cards. That is a lot. We have a Temporal Mastery in our hand. That one's pretty cool. We draw some pretty powerful stuff, so that is all a thing. Here comes a Talisman for our opponent. Do we Mystical Tutor or do we Sensei's Divining Top? I don't actually know what to go for with the Mystical Tutor. We've already got the extra turn spell. Entreat the Dead is not the worst thing I've ever seen because we'll have a bunch of creatures if we do that. Take a little look at our creatures. We've got Archaeomancer, Spellseeker, Gilded Drake, Runescarred Demon. Yep, we have a plan. We have a plan. So end step Mystical Tutor, get Entreat the Dead, let our turn come back, draw Entreat the Dead. It's a miracle! Play it for its miracle cost. So we can go X's 4. Probably Revelark. Glenalendra, definitely. Gilded Drake, I'm kind of meh about. Stoneforge Mystic's the only thing really worth stealing, and it's fine. Runescar Demon is definitely a yes. Perplexing Chimera is a nightmare for our opponents. Archaeomancer seems very good, and I guess the last one will be Revelark. So Archaeomancer gets a trigger. We've got a bunch of things we can tutor for. We've got a bunch of things that we can return. Ghostway now seems pretty good. Entreat the Dead is another option. I think I'm going to try the Ghostway. That plan seems cool. We get a Runescar Demon trigger. Don't know what we're doing with this. Wouldn't mind like a counterspell or something. Ashiok? I think Ashiok is a card, although we don't have the mana for Ashiok, and that's a little concerning. Peregrine Drake is a Revelark target, so that seems like a good one. In case we get wheeled again on our next turn, is what I'm thinking. And we get the Ghostway back. Play this Morphic Pool. Play the Soul Ring. Well, we didn't leave the open mana for Glenalendra. We probably should have did that. Let's play the Mana Vault. What could possibly go wrong? Take a look with the Divining Top. Yep, there's some cards. Anguished Unmaking, Conjurer's Closet, and Faladar Guardian. I am sure we'll be able to do some things with those, should we get a chance to untap with them. So I guess we will do that. Opponent said he was contemplating Scavenger Grounds last turn. He has regrets. Yep. Here comes a Mana Vault. Yep. There's a Magus of the Wheel. Opponent doesn't have the boots anymore, so it doesn't have haste yet. Gonna open the armory for a Basilisk Collar. Interesting. Yeah, I guess that one makes sense with Archangel Avacyn, because when it flips, it'll blow everything up. So, okay, so this would be opponent's play. They would probably go end step Archangel Avacyn, get the Basilisk Collar equipped, then sacrifice Magus, will wheel, and that'll blow up everything on board. Could see that being a play. Opponent's going to send in their Stoneforge Mystic. That seems suspect. Oh, right, they can flash down the Basilisk Collar also. So I think we'll just go ahead and take the 1. Nope, it's a Luxodon Warhammer. They're going to get us for a little more than that. Free equip. They get us for 4. We go to 14. Here comes a Grand Abolisher. We will not be able to interact with opponent during their turn. That's a pretty good one. Pretty good one. One thing they can do, they're probably going to be looking at like Karador, Eternal Witness, Living Death, something like that. Yep, there's Karador. Here's Eternal Witness. Getting back... Oh, Victimize. That's a good one. That's a good one. Let's see what they get back with the Victimize. It'll be Ranger Captain and Solemn Simulacrum, so just trying to value it right here. Opponent gets a Carrion Feeder. Okay, yep. We are definitely going to have to interact with Karador pretty heavily over these on our next turn. Make sure that they can't do their thing. Oh, that's a Yawgmoth's Will. This should get wild. There's an Aetherflux Reservoir in the graveyard. Oh! Opponent's going to sacrifice the Ranger Captain of Eos. Oh, that is going to hurt. Oh my. Ranger Captain of Eos. So good. And this should set us up nicely for our turn. Hopefully Glenn doesn't have counters. Otherwise we're going to be in some trouble. I guess we have a counter in Glenalendra, so we can stop potentially a counter or two if we need to. Opponent's going to terminate on the Karador down. And then opponent's going to exile the graveyards. That's the salty scavenger grounds right there. Oh my. So one of the things I was thinking about was trying to get Runescar Demon for, who's the Planeswalker? Is it Ashiok? That exiles the graveyards. Because that was the thing I was thinking about. These are all graveyard-based decks. And getting rid of that would do a lot for us. So Revelark is now turned off for us. So, yeah, Revelark not as useful as it once was, but... yeah. Whew. The graveyard's going away. It's going to be tough for the Karador opponent now. They had a lot of good stuff in there. It's going to be tough for Kess also, but I have seen them win from a similar position. 1,000 Year Storm is still in their deck, and that's if they get that going, it's pretty much all you really need. So that's going to bring it back to our turn. Mana Vault trigger on us. It is already untapped. No need to worry about that. Opponent's going to Vampiric Tutor. That's fine. I think we can basically take infinite turns with Archaeomancer and Temporal Mastery. I think that's the thing that we can do. Let's take a look with the Divining Top real quick. Oh, right. Yeah, the Felidar Guardian was still on top. It's been so long since I looked that I had forgotten. So let's go Anguished Unmaking, Conjurer's Closet, Felidar Guardian. And surprisingly, we untapped right here. I wasn't completely convinced that we were going to be able to do that. There's the Felidar Guardian. Let's just tap up everything for mana. Play the Peregrine Drake. Untap 5 lands. We've got 6 mana remaining currently. Let's get the Felidar Guardian. Hit the Peregrine Drake with the Felidar Guardian. Use the Felidar Guardian. Peregrine Drake re-enters. Untap 5 lands. Play Aminatou. Then play Temporal Mastery. So if we blink Felidar Guardian... Oh, I gotta understand how this combo works. We blink Felidar Guardian. Aminatou comes back. I don't think we have anything we can win with that right there, but we can just blink Archaeomancer and do it again. So I think we'll do that. That line seems to make the most sense to me. Oh, did that go into exile? Oh, it exiles itself. Well, sad face. Sad face. Okay. Okay, we're going to have to figure out a few other things along the way here. It's okay. We have another turn to get it right. So we'll send some attackers into the Kess opponent. They go down to 16. I think we've used everything we can do for this turn. Bring it back to our next turn. We'll just leave the Mana Vault right where it is. Take a look with the Divining Top. I think, actually, I think Conjurer's Closet's still on top. Yeah, there's Conjurer's Closet. That one should be pretty good. Need to figure out how to take more turns. Getting rid of some of our opponent's stuff would not be the worst idea ever either. Let's take a look at our deck list. If we blink, let's see what we can do with Runescarred Demon. Deadeye Navigator gives us infinite mana. Oath of the Fairy, I feel like, does ridiculous things. That's an end step one. Venser is probably infinite. Any other spells? Any other take a turn spell? Spark Double probably does something, I would imagine. Let's play the Baleful Strix. Actually, exile the Runescarred Demon. Get Oath of Teferi. Play Oath of Teferi. You can return something at the end step. Guess let's go Runescarred Demon. Use Aminatou again. I do not know how to execute this combo, so we will untap 5 lands with the Peregrine Drake. Tap up all our mana right here. Get a bunch of lands untapped. Let's get Consecrated Sphinx. It's flying and draws us lots of cards. And then we'll play the Soul Herder. Do some attacking. All right, we get some end step triggers. This will return that one. This will allow us to exile something. Let us exile, or let us blink the Peregrine Drake. Runescarred Demon will let us search for something else. Let's get let's get Deadeye Navigator. Use the ability. Peregrine Drake comes back. Soul Herder gets a counter. Untap 5 more lands. And now we've got Glenalendra and Ghostway up. Although, actually, opponent would try to wheel right here. Wheel would be bad. We get to draw 2 more cards with the Consecrated Sphinx. It's a Solemn Simulacrum and Yarok's Fenlurker. Here comes Archangel Avacyn. Yep, I have some concerns about this wheel that's about to hit. Creatures they control gain indestructible until end of turn. Here comes the Basilisk Collar. Yep. Opponent equips the Basilisk Collar. Gives creatures they control indestructible. Maybe when they wheel, we go for the Ghostway and go for like an Anguished Unmaking or something with Runescarred Demon. Yep, opponent gonna crack the Magus, and that'll set Avacyn up to transform next turn. So we're gonna Ghostway. Oh, we only have 2 mana. We have no legal targets for Revelark. Opponent's going to sacrifice their Selfless Spirit. I think they were premature with that. It doesn't flip over until next turn. We get wheeled. We draw into an Eerie Interlude. We can just use that against the Avacyn trigger. That'll work. Acidic Slime and Protean Hulk into the graveyard. Karmic Guide. Uh-oh. Steel Shaper's Gift for the Avacyn. Opponent grabs a Jit. Yeah, that's a good one. Gonna put the Champion's Helm on the Avacyn. Yep. Oh, there's a Grand Abolisher in play. Unless they shoot the Grand Abolisher right here, we won't be able to cast the Eerie Interlude. Oh, never mind. We can do it at the end of our turn. So we're going to equip the Stoneforge Mystic. Opponent going to swing into us. Yep. Get some counters on the Jit. We go down to 9. They go up to 44. Opponent's going to equip the Jit to the Archangel Avacyn. Yep. So Ghostway is going to return all of our stuff. We get a bunch of triggers. Let's get back Ghostway. I have no idea what we're doing with Felidar Guardian. It's like, ooh, we could Cyclonic Rift, I think. We'll hit the Peregrine Drake again because more mana seems good. Runescarred Demon. Unless we lost Rift. Oh, Rift is gone. Rift is not available. So, untap some lands. Runescarred Demon, see what we can get. See if we can get something that, like, brings us toward winning. Nothing that we can really, like, flash down. Cloud Blazer? Yeah, Cloud Blazer seems good. We need the life gain. Let's Eerie Interlude again. Soul Herder will trigger a bunch of times. Revelark will trigger. Felidar... I think Felidar fizzles. We can get back a... Ooh, yeah, we can get... Yarok's Fenlurker and... Guess we'll get a Solemn Simulacrum? Or maybe we could have went for the Baleful Strix. So we get 2 triggers. We get a Solemn Trigger and a Yarok Trigger. We get a land with Solemn. We'll get a white. Felidar fizzles. Archaeomancer brings back Ghostway. Oh, yeah. Archaeomancer Ghostway. This seems pretty nasty. Archangel Avacyn will transform. This will blow everything up. Does 3 damage to everything. Yep. Grand Abolisher, Solemn Simulacrum, some tokens, a few of our things going down. We are down to 6 life, getting pretty low. Gift of Immortality will trigger and bring the Stoneforge Mystic back. So 2 Solemn triggers, we get to draw, and opponent will get to draw. There's a Teferi's Time Raveler. Opponent's going to reanimate on Karmic Guide. Uh-oh. The win is probably coming. There's the Protean Hulk. Yep. There's Viscera Seer. Opponent has a sack outlet. Yep, there's Revelar to get back Karmic Guide. Opponent's going to try to shoot the Viscera Seer. I don't know if this works or not. I don't know if the timing checks out. It may or may not. They have another sack outlet, though. And then they're going to try to shoot the Carrion Feeder. Carrion Feeder sacrifices the Karmic Guide. Don't know if this fizzles it. Revelark is back. That's probably bad. Viscera Seer, Karmic Guide, Revelark coming back. Opponent has a Blood Artist, so they can Yep, here comes the Blood Artist. Yeah, okay, so opponent's going infinite right there. We could have got there. If I knew how to pilot the deck better, we would have got there. I think the thing I needed to get was actually this Corpse Knight. If we had done that, with all the blinking we would have done. So we need to do 2 things, actually. We needed to attack into the Karador opponent, which is something I thought about that I probably should have been doing anyway. And then if we started blinking with the Corpse Knight, that probably takes them out. But there's so many moving pieces to this deck that, you know, I just lost track of it. It is... I've played Aminatou a couple times before, and if you don't play it a lot, it is extremely difficult to pilot. You know, it's like a combo deck. You need to know which lines you have and which ones you should be working towards, and without having all of that, it's pretty rough. So anyway, we're going to scoop it up right here. We did get to see some cool little fireworks out of the deck with a lot of Ghostways and things like that. Oh, opponent's going to snuff out on the Revelark. Does this fizzle it? I doubt it does, but no, they need... yeah, because... No, even if they do... Even if you try to shoot Revelark, they just sacrifice Karmic Guide in response. Yep. Okay. Okay. Yep. So anyway, yes, this deck. It is very powerful. There are a lot of combos in it. You need to understand the combos very well, which I don't. I even tried to read some primers beforehand, and there's still... Until you really feel your way around them, they get pretty complicated. The main thing that I'm noticing with this deck, there's not enough mana production in this deck. The curve in this deck before the game started was about 3.5, and it's too clunky. We were kind of mana screwed until that wheel happened, and if that wheel didn't happen, we would have proceeded to not draw lands for a few more turns. The land count needs to come up just a bit in this deck. 37 is probably fine, but maybe something else that finds lands like an Oreskos or something like that, Boreas Charger. One of those type of cards that makes sure that you can just keep making your land drops throughout the game. That type of stuff is really important, especially as the game goes longer. But otherwise, the deck is really powerful. Like I did in the open, I did add in this Tithe and this land tax just to smooth out some of the mana production. We didn't need them this game for the most part, or at least with the wheels happening, but if there's no wheels, we are definitely land stuck and have to use those things. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, feel free to comment, like, or subscribe. Thank you for watching.